Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Riff. I'm Mo Soleil, and joining me today, right here in fucking ground zero of Mandeville, we got Gnashing.
What's up?
That was Chris. We got Taylor, and we got Erik and Brennan.
What's up?
Who's from the Bayou. Not anymore. Where you living now?
New Orleans.
That's right. Y'all need to change that. Check out the mic. Change out the mic when I'm talking. Damn
I'm
it.
in New Orleans.
He's in New Orleans now. So Brennan, we didn't get we recorded an episode way back when y'all were starting. I think that was what, your second or third show?
That was technically our third show.
Third show.
At Marshroom.
Yeah. Yeah, we since then we decided as a group, y'all decided as a band that probably wouldn't be the best time to release an episode for reasons. Obviously, we don't have Ryan with y'all anymore, and y'all decided to go as a 4-piece. And from what I heard, the little bit of samples and the single y'all released on Bandcamp, it's like y'all didn't lose any type of fucking momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I appreciate that. It took a little while to get Chris acclimated with doing vocals because, I'm not close enough.
yeah, about right there.
It took a little while to get Chris acclimated with doing vocals. About 6 months, which kind of put us on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah.
But when he said he was going to try to do it, and we're like, dude, if you could do it, do it. And then he sent us some tracks, and it's like,
It was fucking epic.
Yeah.
and we were kind of like, why didn't you say something sooner?
Right.
So, but the difficult part wasn't him singing. It was mostly with singing and playing guitar simultaneously. And I mean, he picked up on it super quick, and I was pretty blown away by it.
I was blown away by it too because I was just watching the progression of him practicing via Facebook or Instagram, whatever he would post on the social media, and I was like, dude, you're fucking nailing these vocals, man. Like he would do some songs of some original stuff and some covers, and I was like, dude, I don't know why he was so fucking insecure about his vocals because he's fucking nailing it.
Definitely.
So man, what's what am I doing with Brennan, man? Dude, you're so antsy.
That was my best.
No, maybe I should do signal changes or something like that. Anyway. No, but what's been keeping you busy, man, as an individual besides Gnashing? I know I've been seeing you a lot of shows for sure.
I try to make as many local shows in New Orleans as I can. Work through the week, practice on the weekend, repeat. Been doing that since I moved to New Orleans, basically.
Yeah,
and try to catch shows when I can, when it's feasible.
What you doing during the day?
Day?
Sorry, yeah, day job.
I work on snowball machines,
dude.
Believe it or not,
dude. I love fucking snowballs. In fact, I was just talking to a good friend of mine, man. I was like, man, I haven't had a snowball in a minute.
Not to be confused with, actually, I don't make the
Yeah. Of course.
But I've been called a snowball machine mechanic, which is, I'm like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a very New Orleans job, so.
It barely is.
I've been doing it for 3 years, so. Pays the bills, gives me free time on the weekends.
To give you free snowballs?
Hell no.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wish it did.
So, man, like if I mean, you've been working at a bunch of places in New Orleans regarding the snowball maintenance and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Who do you think makes like the best? If you care to name drop, you know.
Yeah, let me think about that. I mean, Hanson's by far.
Hanson's.
That's a staple.
Okay, where's that?
That's Uptown.
Okay.
Not sure exactly what street, but
because after I leave here, after we were done jamming, I'm going to Hanson's.
Get you something.
Hell yeah, dude, man. And if you want to pass the mic off to Mr. Chris, because Taylor and Eric's gonna share that mic. Chris, dude, I want to begin by saying thank you for being who you are and what you do, because you do more promotion as of late for like not just my podcast, but like other podcasts, other bands. You know, we were talking about when I came in, and dude, it's just you're a fucking beast.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, totally. I saw a lack of people promoting stuff, and I just felt like I could take advantage of that, and just put out, promote everything I like. A lot of stuff a lot of local stuff that I really dig.
And then well, I'm very thankful for it, man. And I know a lot of people in the surrounding areas and like bands that are like here locally or even out of state that, you know, that whoever you dig up, I mean, you're always reposting, resharing, and
yeah. Sometimes I feel like I post a little too much. But
Nah,
I try
man,
I try to dial back sometimes.
Nah, dude, it's all good. I mean, it's the algorithms on Facebook fucking keep everything down. You know?
Yeah. It's not very. There's not a lot of interaction. Even like people's music when they put it on Facebook, it's not much interaction.
No, not at all, man. And it's like, you know, do people want to, you know, spread their music and their message or whatever it may be, or their intentions? It's only going to go so far, you know, without doing the work that you're doing for them, you know, and shit. So hats off to you, brother.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah. So we talked about your vocal duties. How much of that was a challenge for you, man? Like, I mean, I know you practice a lot.
The biggest challenge was just making sure I could do vocals and play at the same time. I've always messed around with vocals, but I've never played and did vocals at the same time. So that was the challenge, trying to do that. But it took me like 6 months to eventually start to kind of get the flow of it. It's getting a little more natural. I still need a little more work, but it's working out.
What type of songs that you're like, you know, getting your feet wet with? What, I mean, besides the original material that y'all wrote as a group, what did you decide to, like, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna try this. Like this vocal range kind of matches mine.
Just some of my influences,
Yeah.
Old school stuff. I'm trying to do like different ranges, lows, mids, highs. I'm even trying to go lower, just kind of experimenting with it. For sometimes depending on what the song is and how we're playing it, I might do a high or I might do a low or do more mids throughout the song. So I just kind of switch it up depending on the music.
I mean, were there? I guess what were your direct influences?
Just old school stuff.
Yeah,
old school death metal, some old school black metal. Chuck Schuldiner one of my big influences.
That dude had a fucking powerful voice. Man.
Yeah. Which honestly, I've always listened to. I started off with like thrash metal, mostly.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I think about, I don't know, maybe 16 years ago, started listening to more death metal and some of the black metal. But for the most part, all the old school stuff.
I'm gonna assume that Taylor, are you the youngest one in the group?
I am. Yes.
Yep. But you sound like a fucking like perennial pro on the guitar, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean the leads that we were talking about earlier on Metamorphosis, and just a little quick snippet that I caught of the new one that we're gonna play later, dude. Like, what are some of your influences growing up, man? By playing what you play?
A lot of my leads are blues kind of inspired. I guess you say like Tony Iommi, stuff like that. You can kind of see that in Metamorphosis. And as far as leads, that's, he's probably one of my biggest inspirations. But I'm also kind of like Chris. Like, I started out with a lot of thrash metal. Like, that's what I like Metallica, Sepultura, the classics, stuff like that. That's where a lot of my big influences come from.
Were you able to go to that Cavalera show?
I was not, no.
Yeah, me neither. I was pretty bummed about that. I was actually in North Carolina at the time, and I forgot that it was happening. I was like, fuck.
I didn't even know what had happened until after it happened, so I was upset about that.
I bet, man.
He was at the Death to All show.
What's that?
He was at the Death to All show.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one, too. But I did catch the Chuck Shoulder tribute show a couple of years back whenever in Tampa, like at fucking Brass Mug. That was the mecca of fucking Floridian death metal right there, and I was glad I caught that shit. So it was like I'm glad I caught that one and not the Death to All, kind of, because Gene Hoglan wasn't there. Whenever at the show that I went to see, the show I went to see, But it would have been great to like, see Gene and play, like hear him play like all the individual thought pattern stuff and all that stuff that I like. But yeah. So, but if our memory serves me correct, y'all two are related.
Yes, Erik is my stepfather.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
that is awesome.
I gotta thank him for a lot of the music I'm into now. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So Erik, how long have you been Taylor's stepdad?
Since 2017.
Okay.
Started dating his mother in 2014, 2015. There's about a 16-year age difference. So, but no, I mean, like, I came along, he was in high school, and he was listening to a lot of metal music, and I remember at the time, him and his buddies wanted to go see Cannibal Corpse and Behemoth at the House of Blues, and his mom didn't want him going, and I convinced her to let him go, and I think that's where we kind of started bonding the most right there. So, but no, man, it was. I mean, he likes playing guitar. I mean, he loves Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath. I mean, there's a lot of things we have in common, and we kind of just hit it off. I mean, yeah, we're, I'm a stepdad. He's my stepson, but I mean, we're friends too. We're bandmates, and there's nothing more of a blessing than being in a band with my stepson.
Hell
So,
yeah, man. That's
cool.
That's fucking inspiring. Like legit inspirational.
Yeah, dude, you can be in a band with your kids one day, and
They don't like my type of music, man. If I was throwing down like some SZA or some Ariana Grande type of shit, like just making some, I guess some loops or whatever and beats and whatnot, maybe. But I'm not shaking my ass anytime soon, unless they pay me for it.
all right.
But no, I guess where I'm at now, man, as far as the this podcast is concerned, is just like want to know just kind of it's been a while since I got to talk to y'all as a band, and whoever wants to take the lead on this, how did Gnashing come about? Like, what was the whole beginning?
Tell the story.
It was just me and Ryan in the beginning, and I had some old material. I was coming up with new material. He actually started on drums. We were just jamming, and we were at first it was just a 2-piece, and he mentioned Brennan, and I met Brennan, and we jammed and formed a band. And yeah, Ryan's not with us anymore, but and I started obviously, and I started to do vocals, but it's mostly just all my influences, everything that I came up with, just a lot of the stuff that I grew up on listening to, and the newer stuff.
Mm-hmm. What type of stuff all right, let's go way back. Let's talk about wee little Chris Lilly. Whenever you were younger, what type of things like exposed you to metal as a whole?
Oh, all the thrash metal,
yeah.
Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth. I grew up on listening to all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play guitar, but I didn't start till I was like 17.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I started on acoustic, and then eventually moved to electric. And I didn't start writing songs till like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. And I've always written stuff, and so I still have tons of different songs and riffs. And one of the songs on our upcoming EP is an old song of mine.
Really?
That I did with my former band, but we were never able to keep it together and to be able to do shows. So, yeah, now it's just, yeah.
So what was the first Metallica song that caught your ear and and convinced you like this is what I'm in. This is me right here.
Oh, One.
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that video.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's no bass in it, Justice for All, but
Poor thing.
I love that album, and I loved all the Ride the Lightning and all the classic stuff.
Yeah, same here. As a metal enthusiast, I think that's exactly how it came to be for me. I think that's what like seeing Metallica in the One video kind of cemented the fact that okay, these dudes like look the part and they got War, they got that Johnny Get Your Gun video parts and all that.
James Hetfield's vocals back then were great. I mean, he still does a good job, but I mean his old vocals are killer. Yeah. I love Megadeth, but I really liked James Hetfield's vocals.
Yeah. I think I was like 8 years old when I first saw that fucking video come out on MTV at a buddy's house.
Yeah, I was like 6, I think.
Oh, okay. You're not that far away from me then. Just 2 years.
Yeah,
you look younger than that, man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh shit. So what age, I guess, were you, like kind of getting a little edgier with the music taste? Like what drove you down the path in like towards like black metal?
Oh,
like what groups, if you want to name any?
I started re-listening to all the thrash metal I grew up on, and all the stuff that I remember seeing when I was a kid, and so I just started revisiting all that, and I went from that to then listen to Skeleton Witch, all the newer thrash metal stuff, Warbringer, and then I just downloaded music, and some stuff I download by accident, and I came across a band called Stormlord, and it's super heavy. It's the guys they're from Greece. They play like synthetic black metal, but the lyrics are more like Greek mythology than like Norwegian lyrical content.
Yeah.
But that was one of the earlier exposure to extreme music.
Yeah, there's a couple bands now. You mentioned Storm. I remember you telling me about Storm Ruler, and sadly, I think I only caught one song from them that you had told me about.
Yeah, Stormlord.
Stormlord. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then there's God damn it, my memory escapes me. We just put it on the Buried Underground episode with Jarek. Storm Ruler, I believe, is the name.
Oh, really? Storm Ruler.
Yeah, and it's a couple of guys. I believe the drummer or the bass player. One of them from Blood Incantation.
Oh, okay.
And that shit, just check that shit out, man. When you got time.
Yeah.
I
Y'all did it on the episode. I think I heard something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like Jarek's taste in music. I listen
as
to
do I.
Buried Underground.
He loves the long, epic, atmospheric black metal songs.
He sent me a side project of his, and I got to hear it, and I could tell he likes it. I love that stuff.
Me too.
That's my favorite stuff.
Yeah, his solo work is fucking. That dude's a brilliant musician.
Yeah,
talking about
totally.
you, Jarek.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Brennan, how long have you been playing drums, man?
So what? I'm 30, about to be 37, so 15 years old, I guess.
Damn, man.
When I first started playing.
No, was it like a like high school band, or they got you started, or just?
I mean, I always liked percussion, just period. And when I got into heavier music in high school, and all my friends were into it, basically, so that's the only thing I wanted to play. I didn't want to fuck with strings. I wanted to beat shit up. So
makes sense.
And I remember I fucking cut grass all summer long to save up for my first kit, and it was like a Ludwig 5-piece combo. I forgot what it was called, but I played on that for years. And yeah, so what? Over 20 years?
Damn, man.
Something like that. I
mean, what
I'm
was
not that great? You couldn't tell.
You bet you're way better than most people that I've seen. Especially for what y'all do. Y'all brand metal. I mean, you definitely have the chops for it.
It's very demanding.
Yeah.
And, the rest of the guys know because I bitch all the time.
It's too fast.
If you ever seen those memes where it's like guitar players when they program drums, when I first got into the band, Chris had a lot of pre-made drum tracks. And,
shit.
And I was like, man, you fucking killed me. but in the long run, what it did, it got me back into shape. So, because I hadn't played for some time, before I moved to New Orleans.
What type of music you were like really accustomed to?
Always metal.
Always metal?
Always metal, yeah.
Okay.
I was in a couple smaller bands when I lived in Chauvin. But now we played home a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and did that for like 6 years, and was in a band named Omen of Ruin for a year.
I remember that band.
Yeah, they were a big part of that Gulf Coast Metal Alliance.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So we did a lot of runs on the Gulf Coast and stuff.
I don't know. I don't know if he was with them when they played the Freetown Boom Boom Room in Lafayette.
I was not.
Okay.
Because I've never played that venue.
Okay. Because I remember seeing them then, and I mean, like they had.
That was after I had left the band.
Yeah, I was really impressed with them. I mean, like, you know, as a whole, I was like, dude, like because they had like this like sludgy Slayer type of thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, it's sludge, but it was like it got really up tempo pretty fast, and I was like, damn, dude. This is kind of where
guys in that band, Paul, Jackie, and Jason, all like really seasoned musicians.
Yeah.
From the scene. I was the young cat in the group, so and my hat's off to them for, you know, asking me to play with them and whatnot.
Yeah. And then like now, man, like what type of which drummers are like you know, like keep you like keyed in, like
lately,
whether it be locally or just, you know, stuff you hear radio wise.
It's Tommy Buckley all day.
Yeah,
I mean,
that dude's a fucking human metronome.
just his style, his approach. That's I feel like I steal a lot from that.
Hey, bro.
But even though, I mean, you might not be able to hear it, I guess it's just something I do in my head. But lately, the band Carnation, there's a drummer named Vincent Verstreppen, and that dude is the shit. Like,
Yeah.
I just love the way he plays drums. That's definitely something to check out.
Growing up, who you were idolizing like that?
Danny Carey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's still a big influence of mine. And Joey Jordison, too. I mean, he's an amazing drummer.
Oh, he absolutely was.
He made me want to play fast double bass. Basically.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of other people as well, because I haven't heard anything that fast until I heard him play drums on those first couple of records.
Sweet, man. So, are you at the point now as a drummer, like writing your own drum parts? And is Chris and Taylor still programming drums for you?
No. I mean, he lays down like the skeleton, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll come in, and some of the stuff helps guide me to write different parts, as long as I stay within the boundaries of the song, and we work on arrangements and stuff like that. So it just kind of gets me started.
Yeah.
With what he's got an idea for, then I'll play on it. If I got a different idea, then I'll share it with him, and we change it up as needed.
I guess what's a comfortable BPM for you? A tempo wise?
I've never counted BPMs. I'm
No?
just not that drummer. I just get behind a kid and play.
Really, dude?
That's it.
I like that.
Is that my sweet spot? He would know.
What is it, Chris?
My guess is 150.
150?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, that's pretty fucking fast.
I couldn't tell you if that's fast or not. I'm not one of those guys that just focuses on BPMs or any of that shit. Like I don't read music. I just jam.
Yeah, I guess where the reason why I asked is because, like, you know, I just started programming drums, you know, myself, and it's like I'll try to tap my way into you know a good drum part, you know, for the riffs I'm writing. So that's just where I'm at. So I'm just curious, you know, because I was like, man, I mean, I could just match the speed of what Brennan's at or something like that. So it was a selfish, loaded question. Eric, how long you been playing, man?
Since I was 14. I'm 43 now.
Oh, we're the same age. Shit, I could be your stepdad.
Yeah, you could be. So about almost 30 years. Yes, please. Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I first started playing, me and my buddies, we listened to a lot of grunge music and punk, you know, alternative, you know, whatever was popular at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I remember, I think my first, I guess, like, alternative, like, album I bought was, like, the first Stone Temple Pilots album, and then, like, Nevermind, and Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, Alice in Chains, and, you know, Dirt, like all that from like 92, 93.
I remember getting the same CDs from like Columbia House.
Well, that's where I got most of mine from.
Yeah.
And my mom got me out of the contract because I signed it and I was a minor. So it's illegal to sign a contract with a minor. So I got everything for free, all those albums. I didn't pay shit.
That's what's up. Yeah, in fact, I would use like my neighbor's address. Like, let me tell you how messed up I was as a kid. Like, I would sign my neighbors up for BMG or Columbia House. And I knew when the mail passed, you know, their house was right there. I probably just incriminated myself, but you know,
Dedication.
that's right, buddy. We're poor, baby. Who's poor? We got to do what we got to do. But what groups? I guess what guitar player or what bassist I should say just made you want to go? You know, yeah, this is for me. Like this is what.
Well, I started playing bass because no one wanted to play bass. Everyone wanted to be a guitarist. Everyone wanted to play drum. Well, drums were kind of a rarity too, but drummers knew if they wanted to be drummers. Like the people that wanted to be in the rock band but didn't know what they wanted to play, they all gravitated to guitar.
Yeah.
And I played guitar for that long too, but I focused all my attention on the bass because no one wanted to play bass. But like early on, I really liked Robert DeLeo from Stone Temple Pilots. I liked Chris Novoselic from Nirvana. Everyone liked Flea. Everyone liked Les Claypool. I just didn't want to play slap. Well, for one, I've never been good at slap. But secondly, I don't know. It's cool, but I can only take so much slap. And so I wanted to be more of just kind of like a song-oriented kind of bass player, you know, and so I don't know. But I would say now, kind of refining my sound and this is the first metal band I've ever been in. I
remember you mentioning that.
Yeah,
the
I've been in some heavy bands, but not like a metal band, you know. And I've been primarily like a punk rock bass player for the last 10 years. So, but I would say now, definitely Lemmy. I love Lemmy. I love Jimmy Bain from Rainbow, and he played with Dio solo band, and Geezer Butler, John Paul Jones, all those guys. I also like a lot of new wave music. I love Joy Division, New Order. So Peter Hook, that bass player, when he plays bass like he's playing like a lead guitar.
He does.
He does.
I was just listening to Transmission on the way up here. Actually,
Yeah,
I love Joy Division, man.
Yeah, yes. So him and I would also say Kim Deal from the Pixies. I love her stuff too. A little too close.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Yeah, Kim Deal from the Pixies, I would say as well. But yeah, this is my first metal band, and I've always loved metal music. I just never had an opportunity to really be in the metal band. Like all my other friends wanted to be alternative or punk or or whatever. So,
what kind of punk you were into back in the day?
Well, in high school, I was a huge NoFX fan. I love NoFX, Pennywise, like groups like that. I remember going to Zephyr Fest in 1995, and seeing the band Goldfinger.
I remember that show. I wasn't there, but I remember them.
Well, they played, and I remember the drummer, they played their first song, and then I remember the drummer standing on his drum stool. He pulled down his pants and whacked his dick off in front of everybody, pulled his pants back up, and they just kicked in with the next song.
Well, that's one way to introduce yourself.
Yeah. And I was like about 15, and I was like, Jesus Christ, never seen this shit. And then on top of that, there was a guy in the audience, him and his girlfriend, and the guy looked just like Rob Zombie. And this chick, and she was hot as hell, but she started blowing them right there.
Oh.
Like in the crowd.
Oh.
Middle of the day,
Middle of the day.
It's the first concert you've been to?
No, it was the first it was in high school, first, I guess, local kind of alternative concert. They had Goldfinger, they had Everclear played. All this. Yeah, shit. There was some other. Well, Dash Rip Rock they played at the time. They had that song. Let's
Man,
Go Smoke Some Pot.
I haven't heard that name in so fucking long.
They still. I don't know. The last time I was playing in my punk band I was in before, they were still going around in the van, and they had a sleazy manager that. I don't know, man. Well, anyway, it was kind of cool. They're still sticking to it, and so anyway. Yeah. But I've been in a lot of different bands throughout the years. Played all different types of music, and I don't know. It's cool, kind of playing something different and kind of expanding my horizons. So I'm always open to that. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And again, that's pretty admirable that you got your stepson in the mix too, man.
Yeah,
and just getting it going like that. So Taylor, did we talk about how long you've been playing? Because my dude, like my memory's getting worse and worse as I get older.
No, we didn't.
Okay, good.
I've been.
That was a test.
Yeah.
You passed.
Thank you. I got my first guitar when I was, I think in like 6th grade. I got a BC Rich Warlock.
So you were 12 years old and you got a BC Rich Warlock.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I was already into heavily into thrash music, like Chris, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, all those guys. Luckily, though, I was young, so by the time I was of age to listen to all this music, I had all this stuff to listen to.
Right.
So I had a whole bunch of things to pull influence from, and I was like, "Yep, I want a guitar." So I got that. So yeah, I was since I was about 12 years old. So 26 now. So yeah, about 14 years.
Shit, yeah, you're like fucking pro at it now.
Well, the first few years I wasn't very like disciplined with it. I was just young. I was just messing around with it. It wasn't really until like I actually my senior year of high school. That's when I really was like started becoming disciplined with playing and stuff like that. Sitting down and really practicing and trying to get better techniques, things like that.
Yeah. Are you a big theory guy or
not really
so much?
No, I mean, I practice like a few scales and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I mainly just I try to learn songs that I like, and that's usually where I pull things from.
I am such an undisciplined guitar player because like I like to cherry pick. I've said it before a million times. I cherry pick parts of songs that I want to learn how to play, and I'll just like stand on that and just play it until ad nauseum, and then like I'll incorporate some scale work too, and definitely like just keep the picking hand just going.
Yeah, my main thing was just technique over anything. Just trying to get playing as fast as I could, as good as I could, really.
What's one of the main guys, man, that you like just...
James Hetfield. Oh, yeah. Just watching that down pick and stuff, I was just like, that's fast. I got to do that. That's awesome. And then Jeff Henneman from Slayer, hearing all his work, that was awesome, too.
Another one that's going way before his time, man.
Oh, definitely.
I missed the shit out of Slayer. I've never got to see them live, man.
I got to see them twice.
Oh,
I saw them at Voodoo Fest.
I wish I had the what the fuck button on this new rig. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I saw them at Voodoo Fest my sophomore year of high school, and then I saw them again my senior year of high school.
Hell yeah, dude!
Awesome.
That is awesome. With Henneman?
No.
Oh, you didn't see Slayer then?
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to piss off all the Slayer fans out there. I am one of them. God damn it. But what was really cool though that I didn't see Slayer, but I did see the that cover band, that tribute band, Postmortem at Siberia. When y'all were there?
No.
That dude, that was so good. It was so good. Me and Ben was out there, and in fact, that was the night I got to meet Gary Holt's tech, fucking Willie G. Who was, you could check that episode out. That was a shameless plug. It was really cool experience watching these guys. I mean, they did their homework. They played nothing but old school Slayer.
Nice.
I mean, dude, like it was just fucking bananas.
I only got to see Slayer once. It was in Houston.
I'm not gonna hold it against you.
It was like 2007 or 8.
Yeah. So Henneman was there.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Nice.
Shit, yeah. So, what are y'all looking forward to now, man? As group of 4.
Just putting out the CP, and we got a couple of songs we're working on, and hopefully sometime next year we'll record those.
Yeah.
Just trying to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Jamming, making music.
Does it feel like work?
No.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, where we practice, it's really freaking hot because we're
Yeah.
upstairs where I work.
Y'all got some fans going on?
Yeah, we got.
I'm
like
kind of afraid to
five-
go
we
up
got
there.
like
The more y'all
5
talk about this
fans.
heat, man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's basically like a warehouse.
Put some hair on
as
your
you
chest.
saw. Yeah.
Taylor,
It's,
you need some hair on your chest, buddy. You only,
yeah,
26 years old? You got that? You good? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm just
kidding.
looking forward to releasing this and playing a few shows,
Yep.
and then next year hopefully play some more.
When's the next show?
Next show is September 30th, Marsh Room,
Marsh Room?
Metairie.
And that's the show with all the G names.
Yeah, yeah.
Grissom had to drop out.
Grissom had to drop out. So Abysm is
some good boys from Lafayette.
Yeah, I've been following them on Facebook for I don't know how long they've been playing, but I've been following them for more than a year.
Man, they've been having that. Brian and Toby have been having the band now for a couple of years, and it's like I guess in the last year or so, it's been at a fever pitch between them two. Like they had all like a whole record done, and
it's killer stuff.
It's really killer stuff.
It's really good. I really dig it.
I dig it too, and it's like right up my alley because it's just like blackened death, black thrash.
Yeah, I kind of consider all that.
Yeah.
We're opening Marshroom September 30th, and then Abysm is gonna play, and then Gora, and then Grievings.
I have seen Gora. I haven't seen Grievings yet, and they're from Lafayette. And I'm really interested. I'm really curious about what their set's like.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to check out Abysm, but I haven't been able to.
So, Taylor, what's if you have one chief complaint about being 26 years old in this band, what is it? You're in a safe space.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'd be complaining more if I had people my age because these guys are a little older.
Yeah.
So they're all disciplined. They know what they want to do. They don't fuck around. They have their shit together.
Okay.
And they're all talented. So I mean,
all right. Now I want the unsugar-coated version. Tell me how you really feel.
Put them on the spot.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't have anything to complain about.
Awesome. So
I'm glad with everything.
It sounds like you answered my follow-up question in the first question. Just the pros of being in this band. With a bunch of talented guys. It's a very talented group. Fuck. I told Chris and I told Brennan the first time that y'all told me y'all had a band together. Back at we met at the Writhing show with Spitfire.
And,
the old One Eye Jacks, yeah. And I was like, dude, I was curious from the get go. Whenever y'all told me what kind of stuff you sound
you
like.
just seemed very.
I was very
interested
right
away.
And I actually because I knew about your social media before I knew y'all.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it came about.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. And I saw clips of, I guess it was a Creepy Fest show.
Yeah, that was the first show last year that we played.
And I was like, yeah, man, that fucking sounds awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad you like it.
Dude. Y'all one of my favorites.
Thank
Absolutely.
You. Hell yeah.
Definitely in the top 5.
Oh, shit. Man.
Top 2.
Oh, that's a huge compliment.
I like black metal.
Yeah.
And death.
I want to actually go a little more black metal. But like Taylor, he listens like Crowbar and stuff, and he listens to doom metal. So,
but that's
both our styles together.
That's a good tennis match between y'all two.
Yeah,
Yeah, like y'all can just bounce off of each other, because some of the best bands like fucking Autopsy, Dark Throne, and and I mean they doom it out as well as like just going full on 160 to BPM fucking tremolo picking so there's no end. So I think y'all have a good. A good foundation as far as like what have I heard so far, and it's a good yin and yang, that's for sure.
Yeah, like it's not like it's straight black metal or anything,
right?
But there's little elements of black metal and death metal, and I mean some of the stuff I got, I guess you could consider kind of doom. Not on this EP we're going to release, but just material that I have, and Taylor as well.
Yeah.
This is where I want to go. As a drummer, Brennan, what was it like being in a recording studio with with James Hightower, man? How did that experience go for you?
James busted his ass. He's fantastic. He's the best engineer I've ever worked with. I mean, like he was super professional, super fun. Like, dude was great.
It was as far as like tracking your drums, like was that like multiple days, or did you do it all at once?
We wanted to do one day. We did 2 days. We did a Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, and we wanted one day for drums and then the rest for guitars. So I believe I wrapped up drums the beginning of the second day because we didn't have time to set up the first day. So we set up, checked everything, mics and whatnot, mic placement. So we wrapped it up the second day. And it was it was a very great experience.
Yeah.
And I speak for everybody at the table right
really?
now. And James is our guy if we want to record for sure.
Man, and like his production is really just top notch, man. I mean, everything that I've heard, like, you know, the Udex demo.
Is that how you say it?
I think so. that's the way Sam White tells me how to say it. So
that's it.
then I'm gonna say it's Udex. And Witch Burial, I think. No. They do. Brian, I believe, records their own stuff, and I think maybe they had James mix it or something like that. I'm not sure.
And he did the that Thou Ms. Moore
Thou. He did some I Hate God stuff.
High on Fire. Show.
High on Fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
That release was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Myopia. It was great.
And I'm just, you know, he kind of gave me a, you know, he's like, hey, yeah, man, whenever you want, bro, just come over and we'll make some stuff happen. I was like, well, let me get my chops up. You know, let me find a drummer. Just putting that out there, drummer.
There you go.
Just not ours.
Oh no, this is
not ours.
This you know, this is purely a side project. This is, you know, it would probably it'll be just like recording and there, no live shit. So I wouldn't take Brennan or whoever away from you. But how was that for you being in the studio, man? I mean, was that your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time. This is the first band I've ever been in. I had one buddy in high school who I jammed with, my buddy Pat.
Shout out, Pat.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. It was fun though. Fun experience. You know, James is a cool guy. Made it easy for everybody. Made his guitar sound good. That was awesome. So.
Was there a certain tone that you were like, okay, James, this is how I want to, you know, sound. This is how I want, you know, I want like tons of reverb or whatever. I mean, was there anything that was like particularly like a must for you as far as shaping the tone?
Not necessarily. I just wanted to sound how I sound coming out my amp. You know, I'm pretty into gear and stuff. Like I have a custom cab made for me and everything like that. So I just wanted to make sure that was all captured good.
Who built your cab?
Atlas Cabinets out in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a 4x12 oversized. It's got vintage 30s in it and Silver Wolves by Ted Weber.
Damn.
Yeah.
You are not playing hee haw with the fuck around gang.
Yeah. I like my gear.
I you know, no one told me that too. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm going to play guitar and all of a sudden just start fucking acquiring good shit. But yeah, I mean, how about you, Chris? Like, do you find yourself to be a gearhead of sorts, or?
Oh no, not at all.
No?
I try. I mean, I like to, you know, play out of a good amp and cabinet. But I think when we recorded, I think I chose the Mesa Boogie cabinet. I kind of liked how it was like a darker tone. But yeah, James is super cool, and like he works very well, really fast. I really liked recording through, and I've never got to actually hear. I usually record stuff at home,
Right.
So I mess around with that, but I've never actually got to record in a studio. So that was my first time as well recording.
So you don't go heavy on the pedal board as far as like, you know.
No, just the overdrive, noise gate. That's it.
And what kind of head you playing through?
Oh, a 5150 EVH.
Yeah. And you got an Ingle?
Basic Boogie dual rectifier.
All right, my bad. I thought I know the guys in Glacial Coffin have matching Ingles.
Oh,
and I think John and was it Ryan? their other guitar player?
I haven't met Ryan, but I bet he probably does play that. I noticed a lot of that style. They play that amp. It's a great amp.
Great amp.
It's one of my favorites.
It was the one I was looking at for sure.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in the market for one.
Marshall, I wanted to go with Marshall, but I had to wait like 8 months on back order, and it never came in. So I just went with the 5150.
You need to talk after the show if you still want a Marshall.
Huh?
If you still want a Marshall, I mean,
yeah,
I got one up for grabs.
I was trying to get a. I can't remember what I was trying to get, but yeah, it was. I was waiting for like 8 months, so I just canceled it and ordered a 5150 instead.
Okay. Well, I got you a Marshall if you're interested. Just saying.
What kind of Marshall is it?
It's a JCM 800 from 2001, 2002.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, that's one I really want to play.
Wow. I should have brought it with me. God damn.
Yeah.
Anywho, but we've been talking about the production of the new
Thieves,
EP.
Yeah, Thieves and Tyrants.
Thieves and Tyrants. And man, what I like to do with y'all permission, just play them a little sample of this new track that and it's who wants to tell the story about Grandiosity? It's gonna be Chris again.
Well, I wrote these songs. We already I wrote some of them. They've worked with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some parts, like Taylor's got some solo, and we all kind of worked on it together. I'll take stuff and I'll present it, and then we'll all join in. And so sometimes it changes up a little. The tempo might change a little. Grandiosity was already written, but when we departed from the other vocalists, I just started writing lyrics, and I don't know, it just came out, and I went with it, and I thought I'll just try vocals because I've messed around with them and recorded, but I never even actually planned on doing vocals. It wasn't even something I ever really wanted to do.
All right,
but I was in a position where it would be easiest for me to learn rather than trying to work with somebody else new and starting all over.
Right. Hey, let's make it happen. Here's Gnashing's Grandiosity.
Question me our
Bruh. That was fucking sick. I like that track better than the first one y'all released.
Oh, thank you.
I really do.
I think we wanted to save that one. I just released that other one.
Yeah. So that was a exclusive for anyone who's listening. When it drops again, I'm sorry, I'm bad with dates.
September 15th.
September 15th.
September 15th.
Hell yeah, yeah. This will be out before then for sure.
Yeah.
And but yeah, dude. I mean, if there was any self-doubt that you could handle vocal duties, that song right there, dude, like your highs were fucking highs where they need to be. It didn't sound like you were overreaching for anything.
Yeah. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really plan on doing vocals. The only thing I felt like I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull off. I knew I could do the vocals, but it was if I could actually do all the songs and play guitar. So I spent 6 months learning how to do it. And, I'm starting to get a lot better at it.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a challenge, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I could barely play guitar standing up by myself.
Yeah, I could barely speak and play guitar at the same time. So doing vocals, that was the challenge.
As a the rest of the band, anyone could take this next question. How did y'all, like, whenever y'all first heard him belt out the vocals, what was y'all response?
Well, he's a new singer.
Yeah, that's our new singer right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for that part in particular,
Yeah.
I remember us sitting in control room in High Tower and him cutting it and like pretty much leaping out of my fucking seat.
No shit.
Because it was just crushing.
Yeah.
It was just like, damn, this is going on there.
It's hard to believe that a calm and soothing voice that Chris has just put that
Hey,
fucking.
man, you gotta watch out for the choir.
I know, dude. Yeah. Who hurt you, buddy? Oh man, it's fucking awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to the drop of it, and again, that's coming out September 15th. Gnashing's gonna drop their EP, Thieves and Tyrants.
Thieves and Tyrants.
Thieves and Tyrants, and I mean the two sample sizes that I've got to hear, man. It like don't stop, just keep it going, like really.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. I definitely don't want to stop. I just want to go further with it. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get more technical.
Really.
I mean, honestly, I know that all four of us are more like capable of playing better and getting more technical. But right now, we're just trying to put out some good songs.
Well, that's what y'all doing. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Taylor, what kind of direction you want to go as a individual player and as a group?
Well, I'm young, so I got a lot of years left of me, man. So I hope these guys keep up with me, you know. No, I think, we got a few more songs we're working on too, and it seems like, we're starting to all have our own thing, form our own style of playing as a band. It's evolving more.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing the new stuff we're playing and how far we've come since the first time we all met in that room is just awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Are y'all gonna let Erik get some punk influence?
Yeah, if he wants to, sure.
I don't know. It really depends. I don't like. I think my role in the band, and I'm completely happy with this role. I mean, because we have such a visionary with Chris here. I mean, he's got like riffs out the wazoo. I mean, a never-ending basket full of fucking riffs. And then got Taylor, and I mean, I'm just curious to see like how he starts like really evolving with the band. And I mean, his riffs are incredible as well. I just want to see how this whole nucleus starts to really evolve, and I just want to be there as kind of like a supporting kind of figure. I mean, as a bass player, I mean, I'm more of a reactionary musician. Like, if someone's got an idea, I like to bounce ideas with that person if they got the ideas.
Right on.
And then from there, I start sculpting my bass lines, but I try to do them to complement what's going on. I'm enjoying my role with the band, and I just want to help these two guys like with their riffs and help in just composing these compositions, and I'm happy with that.
Well said, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think I know that every time that I've heard y'all play live, which I'm from the Marshroom, I see people recording bits and pieces of y'all show, and it just sounds tighter and just more evolved, man.
We're definitely getting tighter. With me doing vocals, starting off, it's funny. I was playing the song so tight, and then as soon as I did vocals, not so much. But now it's getting back to getting tight.
Yeah. Well, man, I just want to say that again, I'm a huge fan of Gnashing. I mean, that's why I came all the way out here.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm just looking forward to the next show I can catch to see y'all play live, hear the rest of the tracks from Thieves and Tyrants, and man, again, y'all just don't stop, dudes. Cheers to y'all.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, I got a water.
We got another show too in November 11th in Mandeville, the Hideaway. And
That's a place I've never been to. I mean, like,
it's really cool.
No,
It's
Brennan has
really-
never been there either.
I'm in New Orleans. They're all
That's right.
Yeah, they got a whole new stage, new lights and PA
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
saw
It's a
it.
legit venue.
I saw you post repost one of their some pictures of the place and how it looks inside.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it looks
it's significantly improved.
yeah.
And I didn't actually go there until I saw that they had revised the whole place.
Mhm.
I've been meaning to go, but I ended up
I was
going
about to-
after.
I was about to close the fucking episode before getting y'all 6 favorite albums. so we're not gonna leave just yet. So, moment of truth for all of you. If you know anything about the podcast here at Tales from the Riff, we like to get I call it the sacred 6 of albums or CDs or whatever you want to call them, albums of your favorite ones you can't leave without. So who wants to go first on this?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay, Chris is going first.
Let's see. Beyond the Permafrost,
Uh-huh.
Skeleton Witch,
Skeleton Witch.
Symbolic, Death.
Oh God, yes.
At the Gates of Utopia, Stormlord, Sons of Northern Darkness,
Immortal.
Stormblast, Demi Borgir,
That's 6.
and let's see, 1, 2, 3.
You got
4,
6
5,
right
6.
there.
Oh, and
Wait, what?
Night of the Storm Rider, Iced Earth.
Oh, Iced Earth. Damn. That's 6.
I have no storms in my title. It's a lot of storms.
I know, man.
I even put the dates on here. I don't even know. If
We're from the bayou, so we don't like storms too much.
No. I have Opeth Deliverance.
Dude, that's a fucking brilliant album.
That came out in '02. A lot of these albums came out when I was in high school. Really started
Yeah.
getting into heavier music. Alice in Chains, Dirt. That's a good.
It's a timeless. It's a really timeless
Yeah, it
album,
really
man.
is.
It really is.
Soylent Green's Some Out Secrets.
Hell
and A
yeah.
String of Lies. That's a go-to. Tool Lateralis. That's a big one for me.
That one definitely made you look at Tool a different way because it was like Undertow had a lot of like in your face. Adam Jones had some riffs. Again, he had some riffs on Anima and all that, but like Lateralis is just like it's in
darker. It's a lot darker, and a lot of people hate on Tool, and I'm not a fan of every album they released either.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this one, when it came out, when it did, and it sticks with me.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You won't hear me hate on Tool, but you will hear me hate on their live show as of late.
Yeah.
That's a different story. Go ahead.
Oh, I agree. I paid $100 for nosebleeds,
right?
All the way against the wall,
dude.
But it was still fucking awesome.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
But like once they started playing that new material from Fear Inoculum, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I was about to just pass out.
I'm not really a fan other than the Chocolate Chip Trip, which is the drum Danny Carey's drum solo on that record. That's a great track. I Hate God, self-titled. I really think, a lot of people would argue with me, but I feel like that's their best release. I love all the albums the same, but I just think it's great.
Yeah, self-titled, that was a recent one.
2014.
Yeah. That's a really good. Yeah, and like Joey wrote all the drum parts, but that was his last album. Yeah.
And ISIS Panopticon.
Fucking right, dude. If I had the air horn, I would do it because that is one of my favorite fucking albums.
And that really, opened my mind to a different style of music altogether. A lot of experimental stuff and just bringing really heavy parts and to really slow parts, and just their arrangements and everything are just top notch, and it's definitely a staple for sure.
That's Brennan 6.
That's my 6.
Yeah.
So I did a list, and most influential albums on me. It'd be hard for me to pinpoint something because I would have albums from the 60s, 70s, just be ridiculous. I narrowed it down to the 90s just because that was my formative years in high school, and I narrowed it down to that, and then I was like, well, which albums do I think were the best produced? Like when you listen to it, it's almost symphonic sounding to where it's so multi-layered, with the multi-tracking. You hear different things going on, and every time you listen to it, you hear something different.
Right.
So I kind of just narrowed it down to that, and so yeah, the 6 albums I got, I went with Tool Anima. Tool Anima is going to be, if I'm talking about the 90s, I'm talking about high school, and I'm talking about one of my favorite albums of all time.
I'm with you on that.
That's going to be on that list no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
we're the same age, so
yeah.
I really liked Anima. I think that one and Lateralis is.
It was just when it came out, it was just so.
Just pull back a little.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
When it came out, it was just so groundbreaking at the time, and just the musicianship, and it was just really something that needed to happen in music at that point, instead of just having like like a lot of like simple kind of 4-chord songs and stuff. Radiohead OK Computer,
That's dude. I'm with you on that shit.
I love that album.
Love it.
I would have added Kid A to this list if it would have been released in the 90s. That came out in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I would have added Kid A instead of OK Computer, but I went with OK Computer instead.
I love the album, top to bottom.
9 Inch Nails Downward Spiral. I added that. However, I would say almost the Fragile is is produced better, but I wasn't as much of a fan of that album. That album came out in 1999.
Yeah.
It was probably a better produced album. I just went with Downward
Did you
Spiral
catch that?
instead.
Did you catch their show in '99 at?
When they had a Perfect Circle opening up for them?
Yes.
I wasn't there. I knew a few people that went to that show.
I went to that show, and dude, it was fucking amazing.
I saw 9 Inch Nails at Coachella in 2005.
Okay.
And they had Bauhaus opening up.
That's wild.
And it was a good show. Just being out in the desert, and there was like a windstorm that happened, and it started kind of messing with the sound some, but it was cool otherwise. Typo Negative, October Rust.
That almost made my list.
And I love all Typo Negative albums. I love every one of their albums. I think there's not a bad album that they did.
Agreed.
But if you listen to October Rust, that was like, you listen to it like in the keyboard is Joel Silver. Like he had a co-producer role in that album, And you listen to that album, it's almost like listening to like a Phil Spector album, like listening to like, George Harrison, All Things Must Pass or something like that, where it's like you listen to it and it's just so symphonic sounding. There's all these things happening, all this multi-layering. I mean, you can tell, and I will say this about each one of these albums, it seems like they all blew about $1 million at least in the studio recording these albums. Oh, yeah. And that's the whole reason I'm going with this too. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream is another one. Butch Vig, he was he was in Garbage. He produced Nirvana's Nevermind, amongst other bands. I've also would have said Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, double album that was produced by Flood and Alan Moulder. They produced Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, those guys before that album. That album was actually like very symphonic too. But I went with Siamese Dream because Siamese Dream is like a perfect album in my opinion. And then Faith No More, Angel Dust.
Oh, that's a great one. That's never
that album. I mean, that album. I listened to it the other day. That album, like so much shit going on and so much cross genre-ness going on. Like they expanded from the real thing into that album. I mean, it was just such an expanse of what they were capable of doing. But anyway, that's my list right there. So
yeah, I really love your list because it's really nostalgic for me. I mean, we're you and I are the same age, and that's whenever like radio was actually pretty damn good. Now I think that in the 90s, about 96, 97. Is whenever everything started going fucking downhill because
I agree with you, yeah.
Because I mean everything was just getting so manufactured. Like a lot of radio stations and especially like MTV at the time, they stopped playing fucking music almost as a whole because everyone was just interested in finding the next fucking Nirvana.
Well, and like, okay, what was going on in 95, 96? You started having more second-rate bands like Bush and Creed and Godsmack, bands that were influenced by these bands from the early 90s starting to come out.
Right.
And it was obvious to us that were old enough to remember how like generic they were when they first came out, and no hate against them. I'm not saying that they haven't done any good music or anything, but at the time I was like, man, these guys sound like fucking Pearl Jam.
Exactly,
these guys sound like Alice in Chains. They're named after an Alice in Chains song, and that album just came out 5 years ago. Like, what the hell are we talking about here?
We brought up Tommy Buckley on the podcast earlier, and I don't want to piss off Tommy because I have a tentative recording with that dude. You heard it here first. And he loves Godsmack.
Yeah.
He was just at the show, like backstage with his kids and everything. And I was like,
I heard they do a good show.
Man.
I know, to each their own. To each their own, man. And and he's friends with the dudes, and he respects them. And
I'm sure they're really cool. I mean,
Shannon Larkin is a great drummer.
He really is.
Yeah.
The musicianship, I'll never take away from that.
Fuck
It just seems very.
Well, it's just at the time. Like now, I got more of like a nuanced opinion about them. I mean, not like I'm a fan or whatever, but I can appreciate them. I think they're and I've read interviews with Sully and Erna. He seems like a cool guy. I mean, one of the bands I was in previously, we recorded with Dave Troya. He's a producer, and he produced a Godsmack album. I think came out in 2010 or something like that. And he swears up and down they're like really nice guys. Like really cool.
I think I have a theory on like musicians that I started expounding on more thought, and what I think is that it started with Black Sabbath and it started with this like the British invasion. Like they were all in these blue collar towns, downtrodden type of people, and they wrote about how some of the bands, like they wrote about like just how gritty life was back wherever it was, Birmingham, Manchester, wherever. And then, and the same goes for like places like Boston, like where Godsmack's from. And you got people like us, that's New Orleans, Houma, all over that.
Chauvin, Dulac,
bro, yeah. I mean, like we, not all of us like came out of the womb with a fucking silver spoon in our mouths, man. So the music gets heavier. The music's darker. It's more, like isolative. So,
yeah, well, it's like and all those bands you just named sound like where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they're, Black Sabbath sounds like they came from Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know, I Hate God sounds like they came from New Orleans.
No
you
shit.
know, it's just, the only band you can't say that about is Creedence Clearwater because they're from fucking San Francisco.
They're from San Francisco.
They're from
Yes.
San Francisco, and they sound like they're from the Bayou.
Yeah.
That's the only band you can say that's different. But,
Yeah, I remember. I always. I remember asking my dad. I was like, "These guys from here?" Like, no. They're like,
Not even
no.
close.
They're like,
my dad told me. The same thing, yeah.
all right, moving on, Mr. Taylor. Without further ado, man, what you got?
So these aren't necessarily albums that inspire me to play guitar. These are just albums that throughout my life kind of hit me the hardest, I guess you could say,
Right on.
like that.
Yeah,
It's Crowbar, Time Heals Nothing.
that's a good one.
Acid Bath when the kite string pops.
Local favorites, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Metallica and Justice for All. Sorry, Eric. No bass in there, but one of my favorites. Best riffs ever. Sepultura Rise.
Oh, dude, I love that album.
Tool Enema. And Sleep's Holy Mountain.
Good man, dude. Fucking right. I'm just impressed.
Just all heavy riff song.
Hell yeah,
albums,
I'm
Meat and potatoes.
Yep.
See, there's a reason why we're all friends here because I mean the music y'all chose, man. It's like I kind of had an idea of what y'all like, but like and then like there was the expectations was just kind of like toppled over whenever the young kid in the group was like Sleep's Holy Mountain. Good on you,
That's
sir.
one of my favorites. Man.
Good on you.
Love Matt Pike.
Well, man, now I can officially close the episode out. But before I do, is there anything that y'all want to push, reiterate?
We have a show September 30th, Marshroom, Metairie.
Listen to the new EP coming out
And
September 15th.
These and Tires coming out September 15th
Yeah.
via Bandcamp and I believe Spotify.
Yeah.
And November 11th, Hideaway Den in Mandeville. Another show. So there you go. And
Man.
that's what we have coming up.
Look, if you're like me and you follow what I follow and into blackened death, black thrash, atmospheric black metal, Gnashing is where it's at. Some hardworking, fucking practicing, getting it done boys from Mandeville and New Orleans. So be on the lookout for their EP drop on the 15th. Catch them while you can. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
you.
man.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
man.